Hey, good morning. I'm Hayley. I'll be guiding you through an hour-long Vinyasa flow um, this morning. So happy Friday, we made it. We're gonna get a little heated um, and build some heat throughout the whole body. So no specific emphasis today, just getting flexible, strengthening muscles, but also stretching the muscles. So we're going to get started in a seated position. So whatever that looks like for you, you can sit cross-legged or you can sit out of your shins. And once you arrive, begin to soften the eyes. And tuning into the rhythm of your breath. Inhaling new energy. Exhale, release the stale energy. Inhale, create space throughout the body. Exhale, softens the muscles. Begin to feel the sits bones on the earth. Feel the weight of the hands on top of the legs. And begin to let go of thoughts that are harmful or unproductive during this time. And you can't control your external environment. You can't control thoughts that arise. You can approach either of these in a skillful way. And we can control the way that we react to our environment, our thoughts. We can begin to be at ease with the situation, what's going on in our head, what's going on externally in the world around us, the uncertainty. Trying not to control what's going on in either of these environments, internally and externally, because you can't. When thoughts arise, sitting with them, don't try to fight them. Begin to assign some sensations to those feelings, to those thoughts. So if there's an area of the body that you could pinpoint that worry or thought or uncertainty, or maybe joy, maybe you're experiencing joy or happiness, where is that coming from in your body? Let every exhale soften the body and lets go of something. And every inhale expands the body in some direction. Notice the quality of your attention, the breath, your mind. Let the breath grow fuller and deeper. Next breath in is your fullest breath of your day, of your week, of your month. Taking an extra very sip of air at the top. Pausing here. And then biggest exhale of your day, week, month. One more big breath in together. Pausing here. Audible exhale, let it go. And start to flutter the eyes open. Placing the knees or the hands on the knees here. And you can start to rock the head side to side. Just coming into some half circles, warming up the body, getting into things a little slow. Since I'm sure most of us, if we're watching this right now, just kind of rolled out of bed. And then if you want to, you can drop the head back. If it's okay on the neck, taking full circles here. Only if it's okay on the neck. No need to push it if the neck is sensitive. And then reversing this direction. And coming back through center. We'll inhale, fingertips will lift overhead. And then exhale, take a twist to the right. So left hand places on top of the right knee. Right fingertips are behind the hips. You can shift your gaze over the right shoulder. Roll the shoulder blades down the back to soften the shoulders. Inhale back through center, fingertips lift. And then exhale, take a twist to the left. So right hand places on the left knee. Left fingertips behind the hips. Twice more on each side. Inhale back through center. Exhale to twist. Starting to have some dynamic movement in the spine. Inhale back through center. Once more. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. And coming back through center. We'll start to walk the fingertips to the front of the room. So hinging at your hips first. And then you can start to crawl the hands. Let the forehead drape to your mat, to the floor. And then we'll walk the fingertips over to the left side, coming into a nice side body stretch on the right side. And walk the fingertips back through center, over to the right side. Let the breath pull all the way down the left side to the left hip point. Fingertips travel back through center. Pressing into the hands. If it's okay on the knees, just rolling right away into tabletop position. So wrists will be underneath the shoulders. Knees underneath the hips. On our next breath in, let the belly sink. Pull the heart through. Tailbone lifts. Come to your cow pose. Exhale, press the earth away, round your spine, cat. Inhale to your cow pose. And exhale to your cat pose. You might want to close the eyes here. Next breath, pull the heart through, sink the belly. Feel this expansion across the chest. Head can lift a little bit if it's okay on the neck. Exhale, round the spine, posterior tilt of the pelvis. Find this broadening across your shoulder blades. Inhale to your cow pose. Exhale to your cat. I'm taking about 5 more rounds of these. And with your own breath, if you can. So every inhale creates space, broadens through the chest in your cow pose. Every exhale lets go of something, rounds the spine. And after your last round, we'll meet in neutral tabletop. So our spine has 4 curves, 4 natural curves of the spine. So finding this natural back, natural curve, not forcing anything, but keeping the core engaged here. Index fingers point to the front of the room. Pressing into your fingertips, into your base knuckles. Find this broadening across the shoulder blades. We'll rock the hips over to the right or to the left side. Gaze will shift over the right shoulder. So you're finding this C shape of your spine. So the side body opening of the left side, left shoulder. Coming back through center. Rock the hips a little bit over to the right side. Shift the gaze to the left foot, looking over the left shoulder. Side body stretch on the right side. Inhale back through center. Walk the hands about a palm print from where they're at. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, and slowly lift the hips, downward facing dog. Taking your time here to pedal out your feet, adding in any movement. Coming back to the breath. You might want to rock the hips side to side. Open and close the mouth. Shake the head yes, shake your head no. And then finding stillness in your downward facing dog. On your next breath in, lift the heels, come to your toes. Exhale, heels lower, downward facing dog. Inhale, warming up the core, warming up the legs. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, heels lower. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, heels lower. On your next breath in, slowly roll forward like water to your high plank. Holding here in our high plank for about 5 rounds of breath here. Press into the palms. Shoulders are puffed up. So protraction of the spine. So a little bit of rounding through the spine. Hips are in line with the shoulders. Core is engaged. And then take a couple rocks forwards and back on the toes. Starting to warm up the wrists here. Keep the gaze right in between the thumbs. Starting to fire up the core. One more inhale here. Exhale, hips lift, downward facing dog. Breath in, lifts the heels, bend your knees generously. And then start to tiptoe to the top of the mat to the count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet can land hips width or a little bit wider. And we'll sink the hips this time, coming into Malasana. So elbows to the inner thighs, to the knees, hands to prayer in front of the chest. So your hips can be super high, they can be low, heels can be lifted. If you want to use a block underneath your tush, feel free to do so. Just taking whatever works for you. Wherever you're at, think about reaching the crown of the head, so the top of the head, think about a string pulling you up to keep the spine long. Tuck your tailbone here, so posterior tilt of your pelvis. You might want to rock side to side, starting to loosen up our hip joints. And then we'll take our hands out in front. So reaching towards the front of the room, coming into a couple wrist exercises. So starting to warm up the hands. We're going to open and close the hands really quick here. Holding for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands back through center. Malasana. Rock the hips side to side. And then we're going to lift the hips just enough to bring the forearms behind the knees. And then we'll sit onto the forearms. We'll give ourselves a little stretch or a little massage here. So you might want to move the forearms around behind the calves. So forearms are being massaged by the calves, by the thighs. And then finding some stillness. We'll open and close the hands again for 20. So going as quick as you can. Holding here and open and close for 20. 19, 18, 17, 16, 14, or 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the hips to release. Lengthen the legs. You can have a generous bend in the knees. Come to your forward fold. So if you're like me, that got super hard near the end. Maybe the blood got cut off. I don't know. But it was super hard. So work on that hand strength, wrist strength, forearm strength. You can rock side to side. Maybe grab opposite elbows, just coming into your ragdoll, your forward fold, starting to open up the entire back side of your body. You can sway, maybe bounce, whatever it takes. Just reaching the crown of the head to the earth. You might want to shift the weight in the feet, playing with balance. Becoming familiar with your feet rooted beneath you on the earth. And on your next inhale to your halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale to fold. Start a slow roll up to standing. Crown of the head last to rise. Take a couple rolls of the shoulders and then backwards. Inhale, fingertips rise overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Tadasana, hands alongside body, palms face forward. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And we'll exhale to our forward fold. Knees can be bent slightly. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms. Step back, high plank. Breath in, shifts you forward on the toes. Knees can always lower here. Exhale, lowers you halfway or to the belly. Untuck the toes. Hands next to the ribs. Inhale, open the heart. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, lower. Shift yourself back. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in through the nose. Open mouth to side out. Inhale, breath in, create space. Exhale, softens the muscles. Let's go. Heels lift, bend the knees. Exhale, step or hop your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Root to rise, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, this time plant the hands, step the left foot back, right toes stay. We'll lower the left knee. Fingertips rise overhead to our low lunge. And then plant the hands. Step yourself back, high plank. You've got a chaturanga here. And we'll meet in our downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel rises. Step the toes between the hands. Right knee lowers, untuck the toes. Low lunge. Plant the hands. Step yourself forward, right foot meets the left, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale to fold. Arms rise overhead. Exhale, anjali mudra, hands to heart. Inhale, fingertips rise. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift. This time, left foot stays, right toes touch back. Low lunge on your inhale. Plant the hands, step back, high plank. Option to take a chaturanga here. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Right heel rises. Step the foot between the hands. Left knee lowers. Low lunge on the inhale. Plant the hands to frame the front foot. Step the left foot forward, come to your fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to take this one more time through our sun salutation C. So fingertips rise. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Left toe step back, right foot stays, low lunge on your inhale. Exhale, plant your hands. Chaturanga, maybe keep the right heel lifted this time. Meeting in our downward facing dog. Left heel rises. Left toe step through. Low lunge on your breath in. Plant the hands. Forward fold, top of the mat. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Root to rise. Fingertips circle overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Lift the arms. Exhale, belly dives forward fold. Halfway lift. Right toes touch back. Low lunge. Hands plant. You've got a chaturanga. Maybe keep the left heel lifted. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. Breath in, right heel rises. Touch the foot between the hands. Low lunge on your breath in. Plant the hands. Make your way to your forward fold. Walk the feet about hips width. Take a generous bend in the knees. Hands will come palm face up. Start to walk the feet on top of the hands. Padahastasana, gorilla pose. So this is the only pose in yoga that is an external, flexion of the wrist. So taking this moment here to relieve your wrists from any pressure that we've put on them thus far. You might want to wiggle the toes. Keep reaching the crown of the head to the earth to find this length on the spine, on the neck. You might want to start playing with lengthening the legs, maybe one at a time. Reaching the sits bones to the top of the room. And then release the hands one at a time. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Sink the hips, Utkatasana chair pose. So feet can be hips with distance or big toes together. Whatever feels best on your body. We're gonna take the arms out in front of us, so biceps next to the ears. And then take them a little wider, so we're taking this Y shape. Sink the hips a little deeper here. On our next inhale, we'll open the heart, so squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then exhale to release to this Y shape. Inhale to squeeze. Exhale to close to our Y shape. Taking this a couple more times, these wide pulses. Pulsing the shoulder blades together here. So starting to fire up our back. Keep sinking the hips deeper if you can. Feeling the quads fire up. This is a full body burnout right here. Just building heat quick so that our body can become a little bit more soft, a little bit more flexible. I'm taking this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a full body lengthen, full body stretch, and then exhale. Interlace the hands behind the low back, lumbar spine. Pull the fists down to the earth. Open the fronts of the shoulder blades. Knees can soften here. And we'll dive the heart forward, coming into a forward fold, releasing the shoulders. You might want to sway side to side. Release the fist at the low back. Fingertips to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step or hop your way through your chaturanga. Or heading straight to your downward facing dog. And right heel rises. Bend the knee, stack your hip. Take some knee circles forward. Knee circles back, reversing the direction. And then inhale, squaring off the hips, toes point down. On our next exhale, step the foot between the hands. Left hand stays down, right fingertips open to the sky, come into a twist. We'll start to spin onto both pinky side edges of the feet. Your right foot might start to wiggle out to the right side of your mat. Stay steady or stay strong in the left hand, avoiding collapsing to protect your left shoulder. Your right fingers can start to reach towards the left foot at the back of the room. Coming into this hip opener on the right side. We'll walk the hands through center, past or through center on the left side, and then left knee will bend, left toes point to the corner of the mat. So we're at the back of our mat. Right leg is long. Coming into Skandasana, transverse lunge. Your hands can stay to heart, or they can come down on the earth. Walk the hands back through center. Right toes point to the front of the room. Left heel is lifted. Lengthen the right leg. Coming into your modified pyramid pose. So drawing your nose to your right knee. If you want a little bit more, right heel can start to lift off the earth. Walk the hands to frame the front foot. Step yourself back, high plank. Maybe keep the right heel lifted and lower through your chaturanga. Left heel rises. Bend the knee, open your hip. Taking a couple knee circles forward. Knee circles in the opposite direction. And then inhale, press the back wall away, three-legged dog, square off the hips. Step the foot between the hands. Left knee tracks on top of the left ankle. Right hand stays down. Left fingertips open you up to a twist. And stay strong through the right hand, through the right fingertips. Start to wiggle onto the pinky side edges of both feet. So left foot might wiggle to the left side of your mat. And right or left fingertips can start to reach towards the back of the room, towards the right foot. Bring into your hip opener. Walk the hands through center, over to the right side, towards the back of the mat, towards the right foot. So right toes and right knee will point to the corner of your mat. Left leg is long, right knee bent. Hands can come to heart or on the earth. You're in your side lunge, your Skandasana pose. One more round of breath here. Walk the hands to the front of the room to frame the front foot. Right toes point forward, right heel lifted. Lengthen the left leg. Modified pyramid pose. Again, if you want a little bit more, left toes can lift off the earth. Always a great option to have hands under blocks or books if you have them at home. Just some for some added height to stay lifted so you're not collapsing in the spine. Lower the left foot if it was lifted. Hands plant to frame the front foot. Step back, high plank. You've got a chaturanga or vinyasa if you're looking for it. And we'll meet in our downward facing dog. Inhale to the toes, lift the heels. Exhale, step or hop your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale to your chair pose. Arms are a little wider than normal. We're going to take these pulses, so our shoulder blade pulses together for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sink the hips a little bit deeper. Hands to heart center. Inhale, find length through the spine. I know this burns. Exhale, twist to the right side. Left elbow comes to the outer edge of the thigh. Gaze can shift over the right shoulder, right elbow. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist to the left side. Right elbow finds the left thigh. Gaze can shift over the left shoulder. Inhale, back through center. Release the hands. Exhale to your fold forward. Lengthen the legs. Halfway lift. Plant the hands. Step or hop your way through your flow or heading straight to your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right heel, bend the knee, open the hip. Your choice to stay here, or if you want to move into Wild Thing, if that's in your practice, going there if you would like to. Opening the hips and the heart to the sky. Plant the right hand, bring the right knee into your chest, and then step the foot through. Coming into our lunge twist, left hand down, right fingertips to the sky. Come into your hip opener right away. And then Skandasana at the back of the mat. Walk the fingertips through center. Left knee bends, right leg is long. Using the strength of your legs, maybe try not to use the hands. Walk yourself forward, right toes point forward. Modified pyramid, lengthen the right leg. On our next inhale, bend the right knee, fingertips rise, crescent warrior. Next exhale, take an open twist to the right. So right fingertips move back, left fingertips are facing forward. Bring the hands to a prayer. Inhale here, find length. Tilt the torso forward. And then bring the left elbow to the right thigh. Staying active through the core. Inner thighs are hugging together here. Keep lifting the left heel higher. Next breath in lifts you up through crescent. And then left heel lowers. Open yourself up. Warrior two pose. So right heel is bent, or right knee is bent. Knee in line with the right ankle. Left leg long. Back foot almost parallel to the back of your mat. Soften your shoulders here. With your shoulders be in line with the hips. Your gaze can shift over the front middle finger. Next inhale, reverse your warrior. Front knee stays bent. Cartwheel the hands down. Standing splits top of the mat. Weight shifts to the right foot, left toes lift. And we're going to plant the hands. You can soften the right knee quite a bit. We're going to work on pouring the weight into the hands. You might want to hop the right knee or the right foot back a little bit. And maybe you just want to lift onto the right toes, so right heel lifts. And then we'll switch out the feet. So take a little hop, switch the feet. So left toes are down, right leg's on. And then switch the feet again. And then you can step or hop back, maybe through a handstand. That's kind of crazy. You guys don't have to do that. I'm not going to do that this morning, but it's just an option. And move through your chaturanga. And we'll meet back in our downward facing dog. So just a couple options to play and add on whenever you want. Just building some wrist strength, arm strength, shoulder strength. So if you want to revisit any of these poses or pause or whatever, feel free to play with more of those hops. Next breath, left heel rises. Bend the knee, open your hip. And you can stay here or move into your wild thing. Left toes touch down, hips lift, open the heart. And then plant the left hand. Hug the left knee to your chest. And then step the foot through. Right hand is down, left fingertips open you up to your twist. Take this right away into your hip opener. Walk the hands through center. Skandasana back of the mat. Walk the hands back up to the top or try and use leg strength to get you there. Modified pyramid, left leg is long. Bend the left knee. Stay on the ball of the right foot. Fingertips lift, crescent warrior. Next exhale, open twist to the left. So right fingertips are forward, left fingertips are back. Draw the hands to heart. Tilt the body forward on your inhale. Find length through your spine. Exhale, touch the right elbow to the left thigh. Come into your prayer twist. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together. Lift the arms up, crescent. Next exhale, right heel lowers, warrior two pose. Left ankle is directly under the left knee. Stay rooted through the outside edge of the right foot. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Side body stretch on the left side. Cartwheel the hands down. Weight shifts to the left foot. Right toes might need to hop in. And then coming into your standing split, so right toes lifted. And then again, we can stay here. Or if you want to work on just some hops, building strength in your wrists and your shoulders and your legs. Press the hands into the earth. Left knee can be super bent here. Your leg doesn't have to be perfectly straight to start. You might want to just shift the weight to the hands. Come to the ball of the left foot, so left heel's lifted. And then pressing into the hands, arms are long. Hop the feet, so right toes are down. Kick the right leg up, hop left toes down. Maybe take one more. Then you can step or hop your way through your chaturanga if you want to play with that. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. Let the knees fall wide, big toes come together. Let your forehead rest on the earth, and the arms can rest alongside body, releasing the shoulders. And then start to walk the hands out in front. Coming into puppy pose, so keep walking the hands. Hips will be in line with the knees. Start to melt the heart forward. Your chin or forehead can rest on the earth. Stay active through the arms, active through the core. Coming into this back bend. And then walk the hands back in. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels. Bend the knees, gaze shifts up. Step or hop your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward. Sink the hips, Utkatasana chair pose. Coming back into those arms. So wide arms, a little bit wider than shoulders width. And then we're gonna pulse here again. So sink the hips as deep as you can. Pulsing the arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands to heart center, holding here. And then twisting over to the left side, right elbow comes to the left thigh. Inhale, back through center, hips stay low. Exhale, twist to the opposite side, left elbow rests on the right thigh. Bringing out our spine. Inhale, back through center. Lengthen the limbs, standing up tall. Exhale, take a forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant your hands, step or hop your way back through to your flow. If you want to head straight to down dog, feel free to do so. With your next breath in, right heel rises. Draw the knee to the right elbow, and then lower the knee to the wrist. So shin will plant on the earth. Untuck the back toes. Let the left knee rest. So you can place a block or a blanket or whatever under the right hip if your hip needs a little bit more of a lift. Hands will be just in front or surrounding the right knee right now. Stay active through the back leg. So lifting up through the right hip, lowering just an inch or so through the left hip to keep the hips squared. Keep pressing into the top of the left foot. And you can stay here, maybe upright, or if you want to move into sleeping pigeon, start to walk the fingertips to the front of the room. Stay on forearms, or maybe come down onto forehead, whatever feels best. If you feel any pinching or pain or anything in the knee or in the hip, backing out of the pose, and maybe taking figure 4 stretch on your back, or if you know you prefer that, going there right away. So this can be a super, super, super intense pose. So learning to sit with it. Notice if you are feeling wiggly, if you're trying to adjust. Notice what happens when you just sit with what is. You might want to close the eyes. You're holding tension in the jaw and the shoulders, trying to release that. Giving it a couple wiggles, or wiggle your jaw side to side, drop the shoulders. Just trying to soften these areas to allow for some more softening in the right hip. Taking this pose for one more deep round of breath in. Exhale to soften, let it go. Shift the weight to the right hip. Come up to seated. We'll kick the right or the left leg out. And then put the left foot on the outside of the right thigh. So we're going to come into a spinal twist. So try keeping the left hip rooted on the earth. If it's not, kick out the right foot in front to allow both sits bones to stay rooted. On our next inhale, fingertips rise overhead, and then take your twist to the left side. Your gaze might shift over the back shoulder. Coming back through center. And then take a counter twist over to the right side. So fingers or hands will rest next to the right hip. Bend the elbows, bow the head down. Lift yourself back up. Roll onto your knees. And then kick the feet back, meeting in our downward facing dog. You might want to pedal out the feet. Maybe take a couple hip circles, knee circles with the right leg to release the hip a little bit more. And then we'll lift the left heel up. Left knee comes to the left elbow, left tricep. And then lower the knee down to the wrist with control. Set your shin on the earth. Back toes untucked. Soften the right knee to the earth. Again, if you need to prop your left hip up, feeling free to put a blanket or a bolster, a pillow, maybe a block. Just avoiding dumping the weight into the left hip, so collapsing onto the left side. You want to stay active through the legs. Lift up through the left hip, lower through the right hip. Keep hips squared. You can stay up here on hands. You want to start to crawl the hands to the front of the room. Coming down on your forearms, maybe forehead, whatever your depth looks like for you today. Again, any pinching or pain, not good. Uncomfortable, that's awesome. We want to be uncomfortable. We want to experience this so that we can learn to sit with it in not only our yoga practice, but taking this lesson, this experience, into our human experience off mat. So being uncomfortable in this position. When I first started yoga, about 10 years ago or so, I hated this position so much. I mean, some days, like even right now, I'm kind of struggling right now. I want to adjust so bad. And I want to wiggle. And notice how that happens in your day-to-day life, how if something becomes uncomfortable, we run away from it, or we fight it, or we just try to ignore it. But what happens if you just sit with it and you don't fight it? Notice how you become a little bit more soft. How you can find a little bit more ease. Right now, checking in with the quality of your breath. Can you bring your awareness to the breath? Notice how your awareness to the breath takes this sensation off of the hip. You're focusing your energy elsewhere by breathing in and out. We're inhaling, creating space. Every exhale lets go of tension, softens the muscles. We'll walk the hands back in if they were out. This time we'll sit onto the left hip, and then right leg will swing over the left, right foot plants on the outside of the thigh. And again, you can stay here, or left foot can lengthen out in front. Just keeping both sits bones rooted on the earth. Inhale, fingertips lengthen overhead. And then we'll twist to the right side. So left arm rests on top of the thigh. Right fingertips behind the hips. And coming back through center. Plant the hands down outside of the left hip. Take a counter twist. Bow the head down. Lifting yourself back up. Rolling over onto the knees. Step yourself back to your downward facing dog. Taking any pedals of the feet just to release both of the hips. And then meeting in our tabletop. Sink the hips to the heels, kick the feet out in front. Just coming into a forward fold here to kind of release the whole back body. Inhale, fingertips rise overhead. Flex the toes back to the nose. Lengthen through the spine. And then fold over the legs. Releasing out of this fold. Spine is back upright. Plant the feet. Hands plant behind the hips. So fingertips face the hips. We'll lift our hips, so thrust the hips up to the sky, pressing into all four corners of the feet, the hands, coming into reverse tabletop, just to release the front body. And then lowering the hips back down, fingertips reach to the front of the room. Start a slow descent onto the back. Hug the knees into the chest once you arrive. And give yourself a nice squeeze, rock side to side. Arms come out to a T. Shift the hips over to the right side. Let the knees fall to the left. Take your supine twist. Press the right hip point to the front of the room. To create this length from the right armpit all the way down the side body to the right hip point. So by pressing the hip to the front of the room, you're creating this space. Left hand can rest on top of the right leg. Hug the knees back in. Plant the feet, lift your hips to reset your spine. And then hips can lift a little off to the left to create more space in your low back. Knees can fall to the left or to the right side. Right hand can rest on top of the left leg. And then press the left hip to the front of the room. Feel the shift. And you create this space along the left side of your body, all the way from the left armpit, past the ribs to the left hip point. So feeling this stretch from point A to point B. Knees hug back in. Plant the feet, lift the hips to reset your spine once again. And then taking up space on your mat. Letting the feet fall wide. And feet land about hips width. Let the big toes fall out. Hands rest alongside body, palms face up. And then you can walk the shoulders underneath the back, just coming into a broad chest. And finding a comfortable reclined position, as if you were getting ready for bed at night. What would you do to get out all these wiggles and twitches and whatever your body needs? Inhale. And exhale. One more full breath in. Audible exhale to sigh it out. I'll be here to guide you out of the remainder of the practice. So just allowing yourself to do absolutely nothing right here, right now. And seeing what unfolds in your body and in your mind, and not trying to fight it. Just allowing yourself to be with it. Shavasana. And you can either stay here, or starting to come out of your body, back into the space around you. And staying here for as long as you want, as long as you'd like. The light and love within me honors and bows to the light and love within all of you. Namaste.